The streetscape improvements 30 years ago involved concrete pads and then an area of brick paver set on sand. That's the way things were done then. But the problem with those set on sand, they tend to settle unevenly and created discrepancy in uneven sidewalks. Plus they've just shown wear and tear. The average sidewalk is good for somewhere 20 to 30 years. So even if we were not concerned at all about appearance, the time has arrived to replace sidewalks. And the thinking was, while we are doing it to meet maintenance and walking needs, that we also improve the appearance. So Fraser Associates has worked on the design along with Mattern and Craig, which is an engineering firm. We also felt that while we're at replacing sidewalk times, to assess what are the utilities under the sidewalks and under the streets. In some cases, there are water lines and other utilities that are 100 years old. So it didn't make sense to put new sidewalks on top of old utilities. The reason we chose as first phase from the library to Elizabeth Street and then wrapping around is that this was the area that showed the greatest deterioration. The sidewalks were most uneven. It also is the area that was most utility free, so it can be done at a lesser cost than some of the other areas that had more utilities that need to be addressed. Now, conceptually, everybody seemed to be on board. Everybody likes the idea of, oh, it's going to look better, it'll be easier to walk, and it's time for replacing uneven sidewalks. Where it gets more challenging is when you get into the details. What's the exact look going to be? Where will there be trees? Where will there be planters? How wide will the sidewalks be? And that sort of thing. And there's where a lot of input. There was an advisory committee involved in that decision-making process. We had more than one public meeting where people could come to the library and hear what was being planned, and there were some useful suggestions, and now all that was incorporated into the final plan. We will hold another meeting in March for the public and business owners, property owners, anyone who has an interest in this, to see, now the contract is about ready to be signed, exactly how is this going to unfold. And we want to minimize the impact on businesses and the public by even within this phase one, doing in a phase fashion, where one block will be done before another block wherever possible. The goal was to have the look of our downtown be appropriate for our history and to be somewhat unique. And what we found is that in the early 1900s we had brick sidewalks. So that's part of the reason for choosing brick. We want to set it on a concrete bed so we won't have that unevenness. And we work very closely with Vail. That organization works with people with disabilities. Their first choice was all concrete. 99 out of 100 other people said it doesn't give a unique look. So we selected a brick with their input that was as smooth as we could find, that did not have unevenness in the where they butted each other. And so we feel like everybody who wanted to have input did, and we arrived at a brick sidewalk that's acceptable both from people with disabilities as well as appearance.